Recording in progress.
Good afternoon, sir. Would you please state your name and DOC number for the record?
Benjamin Fisher, 1936-65.
Mr. Fisher, can you see, hear, and understand me okay?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Throughout this hearing, I'll need you to speak up so we can assure that we can hear you okay, since we are using the telephone for, vocal. So I'll need you to speak up as loud as you can for me. Sir, you've had a parole eligibility hearing before. I think it was about 9 months ago.
Yes, ma'am.
Do you remember how that process worked, or do you need me to go over that?
I'm familiar with it.
Okay, sir. Throughout this hearing, you may notice that I'm not always focused on you or my colleagues who are joining me, Mr. James and Miss Wiggins. They may not always be focused directly on you. We've got a lot of information about you written down on computer screens. So we're reviewing all this information to assure that we ask you all the pertinent questions so we can make a good parole eligibility recommendation for you, as well as we do uphold the Commonwealth of Kentucky's, and keep everyone safe, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, sir. I'm going to start by reading through your resident record card.
Okay.
If any information on this card is not correct, you would need to take that up with the institution there, the Department of Corrections, because we cannot make any changes to this resident record card, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, sir. I have Benjamin Fisher, DOC number 193665. I have that you are medium custody there at Lee Adjustment Center. You're 45 years of age. Your parole eligibility is April of 2025. You are serving a 35-year sentence in 6 months related to the following convictions: manufacturing meth, first offense, criminal conspiracy; possession of controlled substance, first degree, first offense, drug unspecified, complicity; possession of a firearm by a convicted felon; another possession of a firearm by a convicted felon; possession of controlled substance, first degree, first offense, meth; escape, second degree, identify facility; assault, third degree, police, probation officer, identify weapon; possession of controlled substance, first degree, first offense, methamphetamine; and possession of controlled substance, first degree, first offense, drug unspecified. You have served approximately 11 years and 11 months. You have approximately 9 years and 6 months remaining on your sentence. I do see that you have restorable good time loss of 180 days. You have been given the privilege of parole 3 different times, most recently on November the 22nd of 21 until June the 20th of 22. Does all this information sound correct?
Yes, ma'am. I think so.
All right, sir. Tell me why you gave back that privilege of parole.
Why I did what?
Why you gave it back to us. Why you came back into custody.
Yes, ma'am. For a possession charge, possession of methamphetamine.
Okay. That wasn't the only thing that brought you back into custody. You were leaving the area of supervision without permission of your probation and parole officer.
All the charges. Yeah, I was out of Jefferson County. Yes, ma'am. And I got the charge.
Okay, well, these were the reasons that you were your revocation took place, why your parole was revoked.
Oh, yes, ma'am. It was
is what I'm talking about.
Possession and out of area supervision.
You had meth on you?
Yes, ma'am.
Drug paraphernalia, some marijuana, and you failed to report an address change to the probation and parole officer.
Yes, ma'am. That's what they had down. Yeah.
You've got quite a history of meth usage, and just dabbling in meth through meth labs, through everything. Have you not learned a lesson about the use of meth?
But I would hope that I would have, but apparently no. And even with my charges, I don't know if you can see on the. I'll try to show you. I don't know if you can see. Can you see my arm?
Yeah, I kind of see some discoloration. Yeah.
I got burnt cooking methamphetamine, and I had a trach in my throat and both my lungs collapsed. I was in the hospital for about 3 months over it, and
Hmm.
still yet I still got out and went right back to it. It's a disease. That's one of the things that I've learned, that it's a disease, and that's what this time I want to work on. I want to get out and go to a sober living house and try to stay in some. I've never done treatment out there or had any help in any outpatient things like that or nothing. I've always just got out and thought I could do it myself, and now I realize that I got to get some type of help.
When did that meth lab explode on you?
That was in 2009. That's when I caught my the original case.
Okay, in Hardin County?
Yes, ma'am.
Was it a single pot meth lab in a motel room?
No, it wasn't in no.
That one, because you had a charge in manufacturing meth in a motel room back in 2010.
Yes, ma'am. Well,
So it was prior to that.
Well, the accident happened right before that, and that's what I got picked up. That's what when they picked me up, I had that the warrant from where I was burnt, and then when they got me, I had the meth lab with me.
Okay. Was that when you and Amber Compton were together?
Yes, ma'am. It's about the same time. Well, I was in the hospital, and then once I got out of the hospital and everything, I went back to cooking meth and was on the run there, and that's when they got me.
I mean, meth almost cost you your life more than once.
Yes,
probably
ma'am.
by usage as well as that blowing up on you.
Yes, ma'am. It's cost me my life. It's cost me my wife. My wife passed away in 2012. I've lost pretty much lost my kids, and almost pushed my whole family away.
And then when were given the privilege of parole, you just, as you said, it's a sickness, it's an addiction.
It's bad.
And it's something you're going to be working with the rest of your life.
It drives me crazy, and I don't understand it. When I'm out there, I do it, and I don't think about it. And then when I come in here, I get sober, and then I think about the stupid stuff that I'm doing while I'm out there, and then I get out, and I might be clean for a little while, but and then it happens again. I don't understand it.
Okay. Well, and then not only with the meth, you dabble in firearms. I mean, you have to feel like you have to have a gun with you, or possession of a firearm.
I usually keep one out there. Hell yeah.
Okay. Then in the 2015 charge where you was possession of a firearm by a convicted felon, you had went to buy a gun from a guy named Sticky. Sticky was a nickname or something like that.
Yeah.
And you bought a firearm from him?
Yeah. Yeah, I got shot then.
Because you didn't know what you were buying, did you? You gave $30 for it?
Probably 30, 50 maybe.
Yeah. And it said you purchased the gun and was walking back down the road and you dropped it and it shot you.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Typically, guns don't go off when you drop them, I don't think.
Well, they're not supposed to.
Yeah.
Not supposed to.
Mr. James may have more information on that, but so, yeah. So then you caught another charge with the possession of a handgun and a meth charge out of Larue County. That was through a traffic stop. Tell me what was going on at that time.
I was actually taking one of my female friends to court in Larue County, and we got pulled over, and I had some meth. I had meth on me, and had a gun on me then too.
Yeah. Okay. And then you caught an escape charge.
Yes, ma'am. That was at Portland Halfway House.
Okay. Was that Dismas Charities?
Yes, ma'am. I walked off from the halfway house. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Why did you walk off?
Well, to be honest with you, it was during all that Corona stuff was going on, and everything was all locked down. The world was going crazy, and again, I was high on meth, and I got to thinking that I had to get out of there. That if I didn't get to go see my family or everybody was going to die, just stupid.
Okay. All right. So they issued a warrant for you for your arrest under the escape charge. They came to arrest you.
Mhm.
And what went on when they came to arrest you?
I got into an altercation with the sheriffs, and I guess I headbutted one of them when they was trying to arrest me.
Okay.
I got an assault on him.
All right. So then this brings us probably to 22 when you were out on parole and you caught the charge of possession of controlled substance, drug unspecified. Probation and parole came, did a home visit.
In 22.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, it was at my friend's house. Yeah, they was doing a home visit on his house. Yeah.
Okay. And I think the Greater Hardin County drug task force or narcotics unit or something was involved with that.
Yes, ma'am. That's who came and was doing. I guess that they had his parole officer and them with them when they came. Yeah.
Okay. And there again, you had a handgun hiding in the vents and some ammunition spread throughout the bedroom. Does all that sound familiar?
Yes, ma'am. They had that was I guess they got all that out of his house. All I had on me was the methamphetamine, but I think there was a couple guns that they had found.
Okay. So what have you learned from all this criminal activity?
What I've learned from it is that I've wasted a lot of my life doing crazy stuff, and if I don't I'm 45 years old now, and my dad just passed away last year, and my mom she's still kicking, thank God. But if I don't get help and I don't change, then I'm gonna end up either dying in here or all my family's gonna die while I'm in here, and I don't want that to happen. My son's 28 years old, and for the last 2 years he hasn't even talked to me. Crazy, because we've always had a good relationship, but he's told me that he's tired of me just telling him that I'm going to do this and going to do that, and I haven't done it. So I'm pretty much, it's like now I'm at the end of my rope. I'm losing everything, and if I don't do something about it, then I'm not going to have nothing. So
Okay.
basically, what I've learned is that before I really wasn't thinking about quitting or even trying. I didn't care. I was get out and do whatever I wanted. I didn't really. I guess because I didn't have no consequences. I mean, coming in here doing time is really not hard. I mean, I've done a lot of it, but now it's getting harder. And even in here, the people's changed. It's a bunch of kids now, and it's not the same anymore. So it's hard in here. I just want to. Now I'm to the point where I want to get help. I want to stay out. I want to. My main thing is I don't want to lose my mom. He being in here, I lost my dad, and I want to get my. I got a little girl too. I got an 8-year-old daughter now, and I don't even know her. I'd like to get to know her and maybe do better with her than what I did with my first 2 kids.
Well, please accept my condolences on your loss of your father. And
Yeah, thank you.
so how old were you when you first started your drug usage?
Well, I started drinking and smoking marijuana pretty young. I'm going to say. I mean, I remember 3rd grade. I don't really remember how old I was, but I remember being in the 3rd grade for sure. So whatever age that was.
Mm-hmm.
Started drinking and smoking marijuana. But far-wise methamphetamine, I didn't start it until I think I was 14 or 15. But once I started it, it was like, oh, that was what
Couldn't turn back, huh? Couldn't turn back.
Yeah, I could. Yeah, it's the devil. I swear, I've never met anything like it.
So how was your childhood? I mean, did you ever have any interactions with the law as a juvenile?
Yeah. Well, I got sent off when I was let's see, I turned 18 and I was in a juvenile facility, a Middlesboro group home for kids. I was in that. So from about 17 to 18, yeah, I had been I got sent off to I was in the county jail, and then I got sent off to a group home. So yeah, and the charges then was like I was stealing stuff, petty theft, breaking into people's cars, and But I think the main thing that was beyond parental control, my mom and my dad had, put out, I guess a warrant maybe. Like they didn't want to get in trouble for me being out there doing stuff, so they put that I had ran away from home. And I
Okay,
got committed to the
prior to the
family.
offenses we're seeing you on today, you've had a few run-ins with the law, some misdemeanor related charges,
Yes,
alcohol intoxication, disorderly conduct,
yes, ma'am.
driving under the influence, a lot of alcohol, it's a few alcohol related offenses.
Yes, ma'am.
And then,
I think I got DUI when I was 18.
okay. And then you had a burglary charge out of Hardin County in 05.
Yes, ma'am.
What do you remember about that?
Me and my buddy Danny Dale, we went into another friend's house and took a PlayStation or an Xbox One and a digital camera. That's right. That's how we got that charge.
Were you doing that to try to get money for your habit, right?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. The buddy's house that we went in, he had just been arrested for meth, so he was in jail. So we went to his house and filling his things to trade it for dope.
Okay. All right. Let's talk a little bit about the programming you've done while you've been incarcerated. I see you are in SAP right now. You've been in it since December?
Yes, ma'am.
How's that going this time around? Because you've been in SAP before and you got terminated because you had a positive drug screen.
Yes, ma'am.
How's it going this time?
I'm doing good this time. No problems. Haven't had the only LE that I've had was wearing my hat during morning meditation. But other than that, I've had no problems. Going pretty good. I'm trying to do all my work and stay positive.
It's a hard program, isn't it?
Yeah.
Or it's got a lot of work to it. It's got a lot. It expects a lot of you.
It's got a lot of book work. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So what are you learning from that program that so far you're going to adapt to society if you're granted the privilege of parole?
Well, the main thing that I've learned from that program is that about my relapse triggers. I know that I don't need to go back to my same friends in the same places that I was at. That's what I've done every time that I've got out, and I go back there to people, places, and that's my high risk situations, and I've learned that I've got to change that. Another thing that I've learned that one thing is that if I'm out there and I slip, say I do relapse, I don't have to run off the deep end. Like my last time, I got high, and instead of telling my parole officer I needed help or trying to go get help, I just went out to Hardin County and just stayed getting high. I said I got the ethics, So now I know that if I do slip, I can ask for help, and there'll be people there to help me, and it's not going to necessarily send me back to prison. They're going to try to help me. I can get any type of help for that, and I learned that my addiction it's not something to play. It's a recognized disease. Like I don't just have a problem. I've got a disease that I need to get help for. I need to get medicated. I need to be on medication, and plus from where I got burned, I've got that PTSD. So I need to get some type of medication for that. I've learned that I need help, and now I'm not afraid to ask for it. I know that I need it. I'm not no big bad dude that can get out there and do this all on my own. I've got to have help. And
what do you see the role of your probation parole officer being?
Excuse me?
What do you see the role of your probation and parole officer being?
Well, I need to build a relationship with my parole officer, because I know that they're there to help me. They could be a sponsor or someone that I can go to whenever I need help to help me get into a place. I don't want to say a friend, but what would you call it? Like a mentor type person, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know the exact word. Something like that. Another major thing that I've been taking a look at is my thinking patterns. I've noticed that before I didn't really think about like I said, about my mom being old and about me needing to be there for her. I really wasn't worried about that. Before I was thinking I got to get out, I got to get this money, and I got to, you know, see what's going on with everybody and get back into the mix. But now my thinking, I don't even care about that. All I keep thinking about is I want to get out and I want to try to get back in my kids' life, get my life fixed. But I know that I got to fix me before I can even mess with them. You know.
Yeah,
Yes,
you said it.
have,
You said what I was thinking. You've got to fix yourself before you can ever focus on other people
yeah,
and
that's
trying to
my
help
mom.
them.
My mom tells me that my kids understands. They know that they understand that I've got to fix me before I can, you know. My son, he's 28, and it's crazy. He sends me messages telling me he told me. I said, man, don't be mad at me. And he told me he's not mad at me. We all got demons. He said, but it depends on how we get up from fighting our demons. He said that's the thing. He's like, I got to stop letting it beat me down. I got to get up and I got to stay away from it. You know, and that's
Okay.
crazy. Like he's trying to tell me it's like he's the parent. I said, fine, man.
Well, you need that. I mean, you need people to be straightforward and honest with you.
Yeah.
Because you're not being honest with yourself at times, thinking that you know, don't have an addiction, and you definitely do.
Yeah, most. I don't. Yeah, it's crazy that I mean, with you see my record. I don't know how in the world I can sit there and tell myself, oh, I got it this time. I don't need no help. I mean, that's absolutely nuts.
Yeah.
It make no sense.
You completed the Untangling Relationships
Yes,
back in
ma'am.
24.
Yes, ma'am.
How was that program?
That program. That program. It wasn't a whole lot. It did let me know though that far wise as relationships that I need to have a healthy relationship. Getting out and just being with the first scallywag that I meet, that's not very good at all. That's I don't want to blame it on them, but that brings me down, you know. So I need to meet somebody. I need to meet somebody that's clean and sober, somebody that cares about me being clean and sober in order for me to have a healthy relationship. That's basically what I got out of that.
You're going to have to choose your relationships wisely.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. And then you're on the wait list for Thinking for Good. Are there any other programs that you feel like would benefit you? Have you done the trauma program?
I think I did trauma, and I'm on the way. I did Getting Started as well, and I'm on the waiting list for pretty much any. I've done regular MRT as well too.
Okay. Yeah, I don't see that your trauma is on your list.
I might not have done it.
Yeah. All right, sir.
Oh yeah,
so
quit. I did stay and quit. That's what it was.
Your disciplinary violations, when you met the board before, they told you to have clean conduct, and that was last May. And then in August, you caught a possession of promoting a dangerous contraband.
Yes, ma'am.
What was that about?
I had a piece of Suboxone.
Okay. So, had you used Suboxone?
Well, I hadn't. I was going to.
You were going
I got
to.
caught with it. Yes,
okay.
Ma'am. Yeah, I got caught with it, and they gave me a urinalysis, and I passed it.
But if they'd have been just a few more minutes, you'd have had that Suboxone.
Yeah, I was getting ready to indulge in it.
Okay. So do you think they just told you to have clean conduct just so they could have something to put down on paper?
No, ma'am. No, ma'am. I've got 6 months clear as of the 12th.
Okay. Good deal.
The 12th of this month. I know when you started on there, you said that I got the 180 days gone, but it's a month behind. Their system's a month behind. I've already got. Yeah. So I should have got what?
Okay.
Yeah, I should have got 60 days back already, and then 10 days a month, but it runs a month behind. So I'm 6 months clear now, and I'll have the 60 days back, and then 10 days a month after that.
All right. So what would be your parole plan if you were released? Where would you
I
go?
put in,
What would you do?
I put in to go to a sober living house. I put in for one that was in Lexington. I don't know if how it's going to work, if I'll go to that particular one or not. But I don't mind. I'd rather not go to Louisville because I'm from Louisville and Hardin County area, so I'm trying to go to somewhere in Lexington to a sober living house. I want to go to a sober living house. I want to get a sponsor, and I want to try that route. Be around sober people in a sober community, get a job, and ease myself back into the way of living life out there. Sober. I've never really lived. I mean, I've lived sober out there, but not in a long time. You know what I mean? So I like that. If I go to a sober living house, I'll be around sober people, sober peers, and positive people that'll help me and what is that word? Integrate, whatever. Get back into society.
What kind of work would you do?
I'm gonna try to seek just some type of factory. I'm gonna work in whatever factory that I can get in. See, my brother has his own company, so once I get out and once I show my brother that I'm sober and on the right track, he said if I give him 1 year clean, and I can come back to work for him.
Okay. At one time in your information, you were back in 24. You were going to go to a place in Hardin, Indiana. Is that not an option anymore?
Well, they told me that I have to parole out to Kentucky first. So
Okay.
that's why, and that's a sober living house. My brother's stepdaughter's husband, he works at that. Hang on, I never forgot the name of it. But yeah, I was going to try to go there, but they said that I'm better off if I parole to Kentucky and get into that place, and then I can put in a transfer for there.
Right. Okay. All right, sir. I think that answers the questions I have. I'm going to ask my colleagues if they have questions for you, okay? Miss Wiggins?
Yes,
Thank you. How long have you been in SAP?
about 3 months now.
Okay. All right. Part of SAP, of course, you're facing a polysubstance history and looking at all of that that connects with the polysubstance. One of the things oftentimes taught in SAP, especially when you do criminal addictive thinking, is the word when you're talking about your crimes being caught. I noticed that you use that. What do they? Have you ever heard anybody say you shouldn't use that, and why?
That you shouldn't use caught?
Yeah, because you don't catch a crime. You said when you say you caught, you're talking about you don't catch a crime, you commit a crime. Yeah, you commit a crime. So you don't catch a case because you commit a crime. And that's one of the things. And oftentimes, part of SAP is to think about to think about the thinking and how the thinking can be misconstrued, because once you're thinking, you sort of can kind of reconvince yourself and kind of give yourself an out. So that's something to think about. There was something else that you had said, and there's no, when Miss Fields was talking to you about one of the crimes, you also was talking about the one that you had with the officer, and you said you guessed you headbutted him. Yeah. So was that when you say I guess, it kind of sounds like you didn't intend to do that. Was your intentions to wrestle with him, or I'm just kind of looking at responsibility for your actions.
Yeah, well, I got my head split open and had to get staples put in my head, so I don't know if I headbutted him or not. My intentions was not to get arrested. I'm not saying that, but I don't know. Okay. I don't know how I headbutted him or whatever, but yeah, I was trying not to get arrested.
Okay, so you were struggling and you were resisting.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am. I got tased and pepper sprayed and had to get my head stapled together.
All right. So, and those actions came about because of your resistance. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right. I think that's all the questions I have. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Wiggins. Mr. James? You're on mute, sir.
I do not have any questions for Mr. Fisher.
Thank you. All right, Mr. Fisher, this is your opportunity to tell us why we should grant you the privilege of parole or anything that we might not have covered that you feel is appropriate and important.
I guess I feel like you covered everything. I just want to thank y'all for the opportunity for parole. If you was to give me parole, I feel like that I've got a plan this time, and I've accepted the fact that I have an addiction and I want to get help for it. Like I said, I know that it's a disease, and I want to go to a sober living house, and I want to give it a try. And like I said, be around positive people who's in recovery. I want to continue recovery. I'm in recovery here. I want to continue recovery when I get out. So whether now or whenever I do get out, that's going to, each time that I go up, I want to get out and go to a sober living house or something to try to. I'm really trying to help myself. So I just, like I said, I've changed my thinking patterns. I see that I got a problem. I know I got a problem. Y'all consider me for parole. I appreciate it.
All right, sir. If you'll remain there in the room, we'll be back with you shortly, okay?
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Recording stopped. Recording in progress.
All right, sir, can you see, hear, and understand me okay?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, we are back on record with Benjamin Fisher, DOC number 193665. Mr. Fisher, it is the consensus of the group that we are going to reinstate your parole. There's some stipulations that come with that. You're to have no use of alcohol. You must complete the program that you're in there at the institution now. You must complete the SAP program and follow any aftercare recommendations. You must complete all programs deemed necessary by the Division of Probation and Parole. If they tell you to do something, we expect you to do it. It's just like it's coming from a directive from us, okay? We want you to seek a mental health evaluation. You said you suffer from PTSD. We want to make sure that you're in a good mental state as well as a good, state for your substance abuse recovery, okay? So we want you to seek a mental health evaluation and follow any recommendations of the mental health provider. Do you have any questions, sir?
I don't think so.
Okay, we wish you the best of luck. We would recommend that you keep this under your hat until the day you are ready to leave that facility, because if you get a disciplinary between now and the time that you see, you're released, it will come to the board.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
And
Good
sir,
luck, sir.
use
Good
this
luck.
gift wisely this time.
Ma'am, thank you. I will. Appreciate
Good
it.
luck.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
Recording stopped.